heard my baby in the background. I heard her, like, she didn't cry. She did like a little whine, like a baby's whine. And then she got silent. This is fire! What's up, guys? It's your girl Lou, and I am back with another video. And in today's video, I decided I wanted to do a story time. It's kind of going to be a sad story time, but I've dealt with how it made me feel. So I just felt like now I'm cool with talking about it. So I decided to bring it to you guys, you know, so I can give you like a little insight of my life. But basically, it's going to be a story time of the time I got into a car accident with my oldest child. But at the time, she was my only child. And she was like, I forgot how old she was. She wasn't even 1 yet. She was probably like 7 or 8 months, if I'm not mistaken. But yeah, so yeah, if you want to figure out what happened in this story time, just stay tuned. So like I said, I'm telling a story about how I had my very first car accident with, not my very first car accident, but my very first car accident with me being the driver is what I'm trying to say. I'm stuttering already, but I'm gonna get through it. Anyway, so it was, I don't even know what day of the week it was. Only thing I know, it was anywhere between the last day of May and the first day of June. I had to work this day. I had to work a early shift, and my mom was coming from her home, which is an hour and a half away from where I live. She was coming from her home, I guess, just to spend a day down here, or maybe she had like doctor's appointments. I'm not sure what the case was, but anyway, she was texting and calling me basically all day, and she was like, she wanted to see my oldest daughter. And I was just like, I don't know why, but for whatever reason, that whole entire day, I was just so ready to get home. I didn't want to talk to anybody for real besides my mom, but I just didn't want to stop. I didn't want to make any stops before I made it home. I just wanted to get my baby from daycare and go straight home. My mom was calling me. I had got off work at like 4:30. You know, rush hour is at like, or 5 o'clock, whatever you want to call it, when the cars be all over the place. It just, people all over the roads, basically. 5 o'clock traffic, that's what it's called. Anyway, so I got off at like 4:30, and so it was like 4:30 when I got off work, and it takes me like 15 to 20 minutes to get to the city from where I work to go and pick up my baby. So my mom was just telling me like, hey, I want to see my baby. She was like, I want to see but, or whatever like that. And I was just like, yeah, I really don't feel like stopping, but I'll come by for a minute or whatever like that. So I ended up going to my aunt's house where my mom was, which was like down the street around the corner from the daycare. And for the life of me, it's like the accident was just meant to happen. But for the life of me, I was just so irritated. I was just so ready to go home. And I don't know, like to this day, why. I don't know. So we ended up leaving my aunt's. Well, we sat there for a while. My mama was talking to my baby or whatever like that. And then I was like, hey, I'm about to go home. I'll call you when I get home. I'll FaceTime you, whatever the case may be. So she was like, okay, whatever. So I ended up leaving from my auntie's house with my baby. She was every bit of 8 months, I'm thinking. We ended up leaving my aunt's house, and we're headed home. Everything seemed fine. Everything seemed normal. And we were literally around the corner. When I say around the corner, I mean cross the street, make a turn, go down, make a left, and boom, I was at home. That's the directions I'm giving y'all. So we get right around the corner from the house, and there's like this road. I wish I can explain it to you. I wish I can just like, I'm gonna try to find a picture on Google that basically break down what I'm saying. So I'm at this stop sign, and then there's a road going this way. Then there's a turn, not a turnabout, but there's a little open area in between this road and this road, so you can cross lanes. I don't like if a car is coming from this way and they're going back that way, or if a car is coming from this way and they're going back that way, or going from this road to that road. I hope I explained that right. I hope you guys understand what I'm saying. But like I said, I'm trying to find a picture that explains it all. So I was at the stop sign on this side of the road. Mind you, there's traffic going this way from this road. Then there's the open space. Then there's traffic going this way from the other road, which I'm trying to get across both roads to get to the next road. So I'm standing at the stop sign, and then I cross over into the middle lane. And when I crossed over into the middle lane, it was so much traffic, y'all. It was like people were like hell on wheels flying down the freaking road. This one particular car, it was like a maroonish red looking car, newer model. I don't know what kind, looked like a Camry or Altima. I could be wrong, but that's what it looked like to me. So they were coming off of the second row over. They were coming this way, but they were getting in the turning lane to turn over onto the other road. And I just sat there. I was sitting there and I was just waiting. And I was like, I'm going to just wait till the traffic is like completely dead. Like me, I'm the type of driver that if someone gets behind me and they're trying to wait on me to go so they can go, then they're just going to be shit out of luck, because I'm not trying to risk my life. And then mind you, my baby is in the back. It's too much traffic going on. But me not thinking, oh, you're about to get in a wreck. Me not thinking that. I'm just sitting there and I'm just waiting. And I'm just waiting. And like I said, that maroonish red looking car was like standing at the little turning area. But she didn't cross over into the middle part where I was. It's like a little small little road that comes over into the middle lane. And they was parked, like not parked, but they were sitting right there. And the lady was, she was doing it. You know how when somebody is trying to be generous, courteous, or whatever you want to call it, and they tell you like, come on, come on. That type thing. Okay, so when she told me, when she did the little gesture, I didn't see any cars behind her. I didn't see any cars passing her. I looked afar to make sure cars weren't easing up towards both of our cars. So I went. And when I went, it was like, I just heard a horn. My airbag came out of the steering wheel. And I heard my baby in the background. I heard her like, she didn't cry. She did like a little whine, like a baby's whine. And then she got silent. And only thing I know, I was laid over on my seat like this. And, well, I was able to come out of the trance that I was damn near in. And I contacted my mom, called my mom. And I went into a panic. I was crying. I was hollering. I was like, Mom, I just had a car accident. My baby, I just want to know if she all right. I can't move. Like, I was just stuck. I wasn't, only thing that was hurting me was my head. Everything else was fine, but I was stuck. And the only thing I could think of was my baby. That's all I could think about was, like, is my baby okay? Is she gonna be okay? So when I hit the other car, because I never mentioned it to y'all how the accident happened, when the lady told me to come, I was easing across the road, and I was like, everything, it was like slow motion, y'all. Literally, it was like slow motion. Everything just, it was fine, and then it just took a dark turn. Like, the car just magically appeared. I promise you, like, if I had to stand in front of these people to this day and tell them, like, hey, I hit your car, because it would be like I didn't see y'all. Like, your car just magically appeared in front of my car. And they were going this way. And, okay, so they were going this way. But for me to demonstrate it to y'all, they're going this way. So they're going this way. I'm crossing the street. And it was just like, out of nowhere, boom. And I hit the back driver door. And I just let go of the wheel and I just pressed on brakes to slow the car down. But I didn't want to turn no other way because other cars were still coming down the road that I was trying to go on to. And their car kind of like, I'm assuming, slid down the road, or he grabbed the wheel and like pulled it off of the road. And he got out of the car. And the police and the ambulance came so fast, y'all. It was like, the world didn't even stop. Like, the world did not stop at all. It was just like, I had this accident and traffic was still flowing. Cars were still passing. Everything was just still so normal. And I was telling my mama, I was like, I just had a car accident. I don't know what's wrong with my baby. Just all kind of stuff. And when stuff like that happens, or if anything that can scare somebody into thinking something bad happened, my mama freaks out, y'all. My mama literally like freaked out. She was screaming back at me, Christina, calm down, calm down. I'm headed there. I'm coming. Just be patient, baby. I'm coming. Just wait a second. So, like I said, the police had came, and the guy that I hit, he got out the car. And the first thing he said was, my family is in this car. And y'all, I started crying. I was just like, he was like, man, my wife in there, my kids in there, just this, that, and the third. And I was just sitting there like, I just started praying. The only thing I could think of was to pray. Because at the same time, it's just like, my baby is in the backseat. I understand I just hit your car and your family's in the car, but I also have a baby in the car. Y'all, let me tell y'all. When he seen me, no, before he even came to the car, he was still like checking on his family. Another person had stopped, and he was like, I think he was on a motorcycle. He was, and he stopped, and he was just like, you okay? You all right? And I was like, I just hit that car. And that man just said his family, and he was like, don't worry about all that. Don't worry about all that. Don't worry about all that. Are you okay? And I was like, my baby, my baby. And it was just like, just be quiet, just calm down. Y'all, the people that was around me thought I was like tripping. They thought I was tripping. They didn't even know my baby was in the car with me. I just kept saying, my baby, my baby. What's wrong with my baby? Is she okay? Like, give me my baby. And they just kept looking around like, just be quiet, just calm down, you gonna be okay. And I'm like, my baby. I'm just steady saying, my baby. And the guy was just like, he just kept talking. I even told the police officers, I was like, my baby, I just want to make sure my baby okay. They thinking I'm freaking delusional or something. And my mama came. My mama finally pulled, no, before my mama got there, the guy that I had hit, he walked over to my car to check on me. And he was like, that's my sister. Yeah, it was my brother's old friend. I mean, I don't know if they're still friends to this day, but I knew him. He knew me. He knew my family. I know his family. So he was like, man, see. He was like, man, I just got this car not even 2 hours ago. He was like, man, that's crazy. He was like, I just got this car. He was like, my family in that car too. Then I was just like, I just kept saying, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to. I didn't see you. I promise I didn't see you. I didn't even know what to think, how to feel, none of that. And his family was just still in the car, his wife and his kids or whatever like that. And then they asked, was anybody hurt? And then I told them, I was like, my head is hurting. And then they checked on the little girl. By this time, my mama had came. And my mama was like, my grandbaby in that car. That's what she was telling everybody. And the guy there was just like, just be quiet. Just it's all right. It's cool. He was like, oh, man, she had a baby in that car. We need to check on her. We need to check on this baby, blah, blah, blah. In the midst of all of this, I'm thinking like, well, duh, I kept saying my baby, like, what the fuck wrong with you? So they ended up checking on my baby and whatnot. And then my mama ended up getting her out the car, like, by the will of God, my baby was perfectly fine. Not a scratch, not a bump, not a bruise. She was perfectly fine. She was just chilling in the back seat. I guess the impact of the car, like, shifting, it kind of made her, like, whine. But other than that, my baby was perfectly fine. Thank you, God, she was. I left out of that car accident with just a headache, really. And then I had a busted lip. I had a headache and a busted lip. But everything else, everything on me was fine. And then the man told, the guy, my brother's old friend told me, or told them, that his 7-year-old daughter, at the time, I think she was like 7. Mind you, this was 2 years ago. But, I think she said her leg was hurting. She really couldn't move her leg. And I just feel so bad for her because it was just like, I don't want to try to comfort her, because her family may be mad at me at the time, because they probably feel like, oh, she wasn't paying attention. She's this young girl that's just driving reckless. That's probably what they thought. And I wanted to apologize as much as I could, but what is an apology going to do to anybody or for anybody? I had just wrecked my own car, for one. Then I just wrecked a family that just got a new car. It was probably like their blessing that they needed that car. And I basically, like, took it away from them for the time being, and I just felt so bad. I only really cared about their well-being and my well-being and my kids' well-being, not so much as their car. Like it can be replaced. That's how I was looking at it, and I was just really so thankful that we all left. Even though some of us left with scars and bruises, I was just happy that everybody made it out alive, because even the slightest car accident could turn somebody's world upside down. It was just so scary, and I never took that, like, for a long while. It took me so long to take that road, that little crossing, for a very long while. I started taking a back road to get to my kids' daycare and back home. I rarely even came to that stop sign in that crossing, because I was just so, like, basically traumatized behind it. I pass by sometimes all the time, and I just think, like, I don't know. I just think, like, it was a blessing to even walk out of the car accident, because it was a hard hit. And I could tell it was a hard hit because it damaged the whole front part of my car that I couldn't even open my door. My airbag had came out. It was just crazy. But that's just going to be the end of that, because Bowers is a terrible car dealership to go to anyway. But yeah, and I had insurance on my car at the time, but it was only automotive. What is it? Liability and auto. What is it called? Liability and auto. Uninsured motorists. Liability and uninsured motorists. That's what I had on my car, which was basically to cover for their car and their injuries if they were to have any. Not so much as cover me for anything. So yeah, I just basically let them have the car, and then within a couple of months I got another car, which is full coverage insurance. And yeah, all has been well ever since then. Everything's been good in the neighborhood, period. But yeah, that is the time I wrecked my automobile, or whatever I'm gonna name this video. I'm not sure. But yeah, that's the end of this video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. And if you did enjoy, give this video a big fat thumbs up. Turn on your post notifications to get notified every time your girl upload a video. Comment down below any other video you would like to see from me. And just make sure you stay tuned for the next video. Peace.
You wanna fight on tussle? I'm talking about